What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kuma's official launch day. Okay, so I wanted to start by showing this picture of the what I showed you guys in the group chat the other day, which was calling this a closed beta launch. Okay, why am I calling it that? I think that the reason I called it this definitionally was because I know that I've worked on this thing super duper hard for months and months and months, and I know there's going to be probably some bugs that have to be worked out. Okay, so that's why I'm calling it a closed beta launch. I'm not necessarily trying to release it to the public completely yet. I'm trying to release it to a select group of people who want to help me kind of make it better and all that. It's going to be free forever. Nothing's going to change about that. But I just wanted to get some one-on-one feedback from people who use it, talk about its interface, errors you run into, bug fixes, things like that. So I've disabled a lot of the things like auto updates, other traffic sources. We're going to primarily focus on meta and then a couple other things. So just to get us kind of off the ground and launched. And then as we make our way, we will add other things in and bug fix. So that's why I'm calling this a closed beta. How long will the closed beta last? I don't know. We'll see until we get all the bugs worked out. So let's get moving on how to, it's kind of off the cuff too, hold on. There it is. On how to get us moving on getting installed. By the way, you like my Minecraft background? I know you do. So here it is, and this is the file you guys are going to receive. It's a zip file that contains everything needed in a box to make Kuma run. Most of you guys might not be familiar with self-hosted. Some of you might, some of you might not. Hosted means like your red track, like it's ran by their servers and it's completely controlled by them. You don't have to do any of your own servers or self-hosting or anything. But the downside is they own your data and you share their IPs. The upside with self-hosting is that you can put it anywhere you want, that you buy a server, a droplet, any kind of VPS you buy, anything like that. You can just throw it on there, install it, and it's ready to go. There are some more steps though in self-hosted versus hosted with a like a red track or something, like where they do it for you. And we'll talk about that. All right. So 99% of people, when they buy hosting, it comes with a cPanel. I'm sure that a lot of you have seen this before. It's probably nothing new to any of you. And cPanel is super useful for us because it makes setting up Kuma super duper duper easy. And I already have some stuff pre-set up for us. First and foremost, Kuma itself is about 480-ish megabytes. So what you're going to want to do is upload that. I already did. Let me show you the file manager. I already updated it into here, into the base of the file. So if we come back out, I have a domain for this, and you usually get a public HTML file, and then I just clicked upload, and I just pulled it into here from the desktop, the whole folder, and it loads it into right here. So there's that zip folder, okay? Like I said, you'd go to your file, you'd go to here, you'd click File Manager, it opens this, and then it puts you here. And then you'd go to your public HTML, and then you'd just hit upload. It opens this, you drag the file into here, okay? And that puts you right here. This is the domain I bought for it. And by the way, even if you guys try to access this after it's done, don't worry, it'll already be deleted. This is just for the educational purposes. But right now you can see that we have nothing in here. All we have is the base zip file and nothing else, right? Standard robots, whatever files. So what you're going to do is you're going to extract everything from this file and put it into the public HTML. And that's what it's going to do is take that zip file and just pull everything out of it. This is the easiest way. Don't upload the files singly. Just upload the whole thing. Okay, trust me on that. And you can also use FileZilla or whatever if you're more competent with FTP transfer. But for people who are just trying to use like a web interface, this is the easiest way to do it. So here we are. Make sure that it's all in the public HTML file. So now you can see it's all here. You want to get rid of the zip file too when you're done. Okay, so you click it and click delete. And I'll get rid of the zip file. Okay, so we have everything we need to get going. Back on the site here, if I run a refresh, it's going to go to the installer. Excellent. So this is the Kuma installer. It's going to tell you if anything's wrong. I tried my hardest to make it do everything for you, like show you what dependencies it has, if everything's loaded on your server. The reason is also because if you have a hosted server, you can contact your host provider and tell them what you don't have, and then they can fix it for you, and then you won't have this problem on anything else. The warning, what's the warning? You don't worry about that warning. It's not a big deal. Warnings you can still bypass. So everything looks like it's ready to go. So we're just going to hit database configuration. And this is going to put us at where we need to configure a database. Now, don't get scared. Okay, it's not that big of a deal, especially with cPanel. So back into cPanel, we are going to scroll down to Database Wizard. All cPanels have this these days. And it's going to walk us through a database creation scenario. Now, I already have a notepad for this where I already kind of pre-configured some stuff, so I can just copy and paste. We're going to call the main database test. Okay, so we're going to create test. Now we have Kuma test, and you can call your database whatever you want. I'm just doing that for the example of this. Now we need to create a user to access that database, and we're going to call it user one. Like I said, these are just stand-in. You can call it whatever you want, okay? The password, and like I said, don't worry about any of my password stuff. This is all going to be deleted by the time you guys get this video anyway. We're going to create that user. And then privileges, we are going to give all privileges to this database, make changes. Okay, our user is now ready to go on this database and has all privileges. So if we come back over here, it's going to ask us for a few things. Database host, this is almost always going to be localhost because the software is actually located on that like that hosting, and localhost just references itself. So it's just saying it's on this localhost. Like I said, 9 out of 10 times, that's going to be all you need. So right now it's asking you for the database name. Remember, we just created that as a database name. It's now going to ask us for the user. We just created this user, and it's going to ask us for a password. And we just created this password. Okay, so there's your database hookup. Now it's going to ask you for the URL. It's auto-detecting that we're going to install it at the root of this domain, so don't mess with that. This admin user I'm creating for the actual login of Kuma itself, okay? So this is being used for the actual login inside of Kuma. I'm just going to do something here like test@test.com, which is fine. So this bottom section is the admin account you're actually going to log into Kuma with, okay? This top section is the database that we just created on our cPanel. And if we click test and connection and continue, it's going to tell us if it successfully finds this database and if it's hooked up. Okay, look, so it is successful, so it's redirecting. So now it's letting us know that it's basically ready to configure our configuration file, which is going to help us set up for Kuma's operation. So we're just going to click create config file, and it's going to go ahead and do that. Now it's going to need to migrate your databases, which is totally fine. Make sure you hit migrate. Okay, it just created all 58 of our database migrations we needed. And now it wants to finally create that administrator account with that username and password, these two, so that we can actually log in. And that's it, guys. So back here, we're completely ready to go. Delete the installer. It already was deleted. Log into your dashboard, configure, and create your first campaign. So if you click go to dashboard, you're already logged in through this username and password. It's already logged you in. So if we head to the dashboard, ta-da! Here we are at the dashboard, okay? So this is the general overview for your campaigns. Down below, you're going to have your campaign performance table, which is going to show you like a general snapshot over the top of your campaigns. And then all of here, obviously, is all of your profits and losses and all these things. You have the ability to show paused, archived, or active campaigns, and it will stay. It's a sticky setting, so if you update it, it will always have that setting. Even if you come back to the dashboard later, it will have those saved, okay? And that's because sometimes you have paused or archived campaigns and you don't want them to show in your cost, so you just want to remove those. That'll be up to you. We'll look at that here in a minute. I'm going to go page by page here slowly. I'm going to try to keep this video under 20-ish minutes. I think I'm at 10. It might go into 25, but that's going to be a general overview of everything, installation, start to finish, and then you guys have the Telegram group so you can ask me questions or report bugs, which will be important. Okay, visitor log. This is just a log of all your visitors that are going to come through here. I exclude Facebook approval team clicks from here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Campaigns. Oh, sorry, that's traffic sources. Campaigns. This is where we're going to create our first campaign pretty soon. Traffic sources. This is all the preloaded traffic sources. You don't really have to mess with this in this beta release because it's going to track everything you want. Offers. We're going to deal with that soon. Landing pages, networks. Click lookup. We'll also look at this. Your postback URLs for this, and then your settings. And we're going to go through the settings too. Very basic settings, and we're going to set up an integration and an API cost update, okay? Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you have those two things so that Facebook's getting your conversions and that also you're getting cost updates. That's like vitally important. So let's see. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with networks, and we're just going to add a network here, and we're going to keep the name really basic. Let's just do something like example network. Okay, sorry guys, I took a break for a second there to try to set up some stuff ahead to make sure that I can show you real examples. I can't believe I didn't do it before, sorry. Okay, so into the landing pages, this is why I wanted to add a landing page. So I went ahead and added this. This is a just like a little quick built landing page that has the correct body code and click code in it from Kuma already, so we can use it in an example campaign. Okay, so in landing pages, let's just call this normal LP1 because this is not redirect list, but you do have redirect list option. So we're going to copy this URL. We're going to put it in here, and that's going to be our landing page. Now down here, it does give you the click setup code to track people's clicks. When somebody clicks to your landing page needs to contain this JavaScript in order for their click to be tracked, okay? And for their parameters to be stored. So this page already has it. I already put it in here, and if I right click and showed the source, it would be at the very bottom. You would see it. And so you have to make sure that's in there in order for it to work. That's how most standard trackers work with landing pages. So let's create that landing page. And now we have a landing page and we have a network, okay? So let's go ahead and head into offers now. And in offers, we're just gonna go ahead and put example offer 1. And then I'm actually gonna use example.com, which is kind of funny. And then let's go ahead and just add, like, let's pretend like we were including like a sub ID, like sub 1. Let's just click and add a click ID to it. So we're going to send the click ID along to the offer. Let's select example network. You can put a payout. You can put what type of payout type it is. You can add all these custom tokens as you wish, including traffic source tokens as well, by the way, to be sent through. And then offer availability schedule. You can say this offer is always active, or there's a specific time window and time zone where this offer is active in, and it will automatically exclude it from rotation out of that window. Or you can enable cap tracking, which is saying basically we have a set amount of cap in for this offer for a day, week, month, lifetime, and so you need to unrotate it if I hit my cap, like in a day or whatever. And so it'll just rotate the other offers that you have in there. And we'll talk about what happens when all of these conditions are met for all of your offers, because that could potentially be a problem that you didn't think about either. So let's go ahead and just save this offer in. So now we have an offer, we have a landing page, and we have a network. So let's go ahead, and we already have our traffic sources because those were preset by Kuma when we loaded. So let's go ahead and create our first campaign. So let's just go ahead and call this like test, whatever we want to call this, test campaign 1 maybe. That's fine. And you know what, just to give it something, I'll just give it like today's date. Is today the 9th? 8th. Today's 8th. Okay, default CPC, I'm going to leave that empty because costs from Meta are grabbed through the API, which I'm going to show you how to set up shortly. We're going to blank our refer, our cloaking mode. This means that when the click goes to the offer, it removes the refer so that the offer point doesn't see where the click comes from. It doesn't see what landing page and stuff like that. Groups, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We can create some groups in the stats. So when you're looking at your stats, sometimes you have all these campaigns and you want to like look at how are like all of my debt campaigns doing. You could give them the group debt, and then it would be a drop down. It shows the performance of all your debt campaigns side by side. Okay, and you can like expand and all that. We'll talk about that too. Traffic source, we're going to go ahead and do Facebook. These are coming soon. Facebook is the one we're focusing on for this release. Tracking domain, right now we're using the base, but we're going to talk about tracking domains shortly, which is you can add as many as you want as custom verified domains. The Facebook integrations, we're also going to go take care of here in a second. And then we have custom redirect rules, meaning you can select tokens and you can redirect based on if the rules are met. This I haven't tested extremely extensively. I've used it quite a bit for certain tokens and things like that, but this would be worth getting more feedback on to make sure everything there is working fine. And then custom campaign tokens, you can have up to 10 custom campaign tokens that you pass, and then also you can do rules based on those tokens. So we're going to do a landing page to offer flow. We have 3 types: split, direct, and landing page to offer. We're going to select that first offer, and then we're going to select that first landing page. Now let's go ahead and just create this just to make sure, and then head back in on the pencil. The pencil is your editor to go back. Everything's all set, except I want to show you something. I added this fallback offer portion because in the event that, let's say that you have 2 offers and that you set the caps, and let's say that today both your caps were met. What happens when the user clicks through the landing page or is a direct link? Where do they go? Yeah, they're going to go nowhere. The system's going to say, I don't know where to send them because I'm out of cap. So you can set a fallback offer in here that will fall back when all of your other qualifications are met, like your cap's out, your time's out, all that stuff. It will fall back to that offer. I'm not going to do it in this case, but it'll put all the offers you have in your database in here, and you can select a fallback. Okay. Down here under slugs, this is a feature where you can give the campaign different slugs. Like right now, if you look down here in the campaign link, it says your base, KM, and then it has like this little token identifier for your campaign. You can change that token identifier right here and have unique ones if you wish, so that you can have different looking links for Meta and for Facebook. So like they'll all still track to the same campaign, but they look like different links. Okay, and that's actually a very valuable feature. They're like super valuable, but I'm not going to go super into it because I've used it not a ton. It does work, but I just haven't used it a ton with Kuma quite yet. But that is a major feature for making your links look different to Meta. So down here, when we have a landing page in the campaign, if there was no landing page, everything from about this section down would be hidden. But right here, you have your campaign link, okay? And if you notice, because I selected Facebook, I already have all my tokens and like all of my token stuff, like ad name, ad set name, all that stuff already on here, and it's ready to go. Down here is the code that you need for your landing page. So on whatever you're using for your call to action on your page, it needs to have an on click for ktrack, return false. This has to be added. This code right here, this A tag, needs to go around anything that you're going to make clickable. It could be anything, a button, whatever. It just needs to contain this in order for Kuma to track it and rotate your offers. And then you have to have this body script in as well. Okay. This body script, by the way, this like script that you need to put at the bottom of your HTML page, or if you're having an AI landing page builder for you, just tell it that you need this to be on your CTA and this to be on your landing page. Those have to be there for it to work. And if you're using redirectless, which also does work, by the way, you need to select the landing page, select the traffic source, and then you need this code as well. Okay, you need both codes. If you're going to be running redirectless, you need this one and you need this one to be put into your page, and you need to actually use this campaign link instead of this one. Because this one is a redirect campaign link, and this one here is a redirectless campaign link. You can tell too, because look, this campaign link is going directly to the landing page and then capturing the variables. It's not going through a standard redirect. So both options are available in the test, in this beta release of Kuma. You can do both, okay? But for our case, we're just gonna grab this link, we're gonna update one more time, and then we're gonna head back out. And now we have our first campaign built. It's a landing page flow type. It's active. It's Facebook, has the name, has all of our stats. And then if you look in traffic, or not traffic sources, I'm sorry. If you look in landing pages, for example, it now shows that this landing page is connected to a campaign and this offer is connected to a campaign. And if you click that, it actually shows you which campaigns they're connected to, and you can go view those campaigns, okay? Same thing with landing pages. You can actually look. So let's go ahead and open up this little file here we've been using, and let's paste our campaign link in there. Now, I want to show you the next thing, which is in our settings, we're going to go ahead and go through all of these settings real quick, and that's pretty much going to be it to get you guys off to the races. I think most of this is going to be self-explanatory past that. Domains are custom tracking domains. This means that instead of having it always go through kumatest.xyz, it can go through, like, let's say it was an offer for like loans. It could be like American Loans Now whatever.com, and you could use that as an alias tracking domain, meaning that it could actually say like AmericanLoans.com/ and then all your Kuma variables, and it would still track through Kuma, even though it's not the same domain. Okay, these are called custom domains. That's what I call them. Some trackers call them add-on domains, that kind of thing. But they are unlimited in every version of Kuma. And to do that, all you have to do is add the domain, put it into here, add it, and then there will be a test button where you can click it, and it will check the DNS, and it won't let you use it until it's verified that it's working. I can make a tutorial on how to add custom tracking domains. You have to do stuff with your name host, like where you buy it, like Namecheap or like GoDaddy or wherever you buy it. You have to set it up in order to point to this same installation with an IP address. It's really, really easy. I can make a new video explaining that for everybody that needs it. But like I said, once you get it once, you can do it 100 times. You can add unlimited tracking domains to here, and it lets you customize all of your campaign paths. So it's really, really great. This is a humongous feature that most trackers charge you a lot of additional money for each time you add a domain. And here you can have them unlimited in all your Kuma installations. All right, let's talk about integrations. This is for your CAPI postbacks to Meta. This means this is how Meta receives your postbacks to know which campaigns are performing, because you want them to be able to see that too. So let's create an integration, and we're just going to create just a bogus one for now. You would actually get this from Meta, from your event manager in Meta. And also, once again, I might have to make a video on two things with Meta, which is probably going to follow this. One is getting your pixel ID and your access token, because most people are so confused about that. And the second one is how to make an app through your ad account that lets you access your cost updating. And that has to be done on any self-hosted tracker that you get, not just mine. Anyone that you buy that's self-hosted, mine's will be free, but anyone you buy, you have to do that. You have to make a system user. It's just part of it, or you have to connect your ad account up. So, and we'll talk about that too. But let's just make one here, and let's just call this like I don't know, debt pixel or something. Like, let's just call it something like that. We're just going to fill in bogus. I'm sorry. It would be just a number. We're just going to fill in some like, just, you know, like filler stuff here. You would actually get these from Meta. And then the event type, let's say that this was a leads campaign and we want to post back leads. We'll create that integration. So now we have a debt pixel that's in here that Kuma knows that it can post back to. But in your campaign, though, if we go back to our campaign overview, we do the little pencil, it takes us back. Remember how I said at the top here, we could integrate? Watch this. Now we have a debt pixel. So if we save this, Kuma is now going to know that whenever a conversion fires into this campaign inside of here, it's going to fire that user back to Facebook under this pixel now. Okay? So that's how we're going to go ahead and integrate pixels. And like I said, you'd actually get the real pixel information from your Meta account, and I'll make a video on that. Let's talk about cost updating. This is vitally important, obviously. Cost updates are a huge deal. The way that this works is this section here is telling you how much you're calling to the Meta API. You have, I think, 200 calls per hour, but I think that it's up or down based on how many connected users you have. Let's just assume you have 200, which is more than enough because a campaign only requires one call an hour or one call per time to get all your ad sets and everything associated with that campaign. But let's go ahead and add an integration, and let me show you how it works. So this is how it works. If you scroll down, we have a couple things here. This is one of the most complicated parts of Kuma, but I'm going to try to make it simple for you. So we're going to have an integration name. Let's call this main account. You can call it whatever you want. Now this access token you have to get from the marketing API section in your business settings. You can do this with any business manager. It's free and it takes like 5 minutes to get. But if you've never done it, it can be confusing. So I will make a follow-up video walking you through this part. And there's already a bunch of videos on YouTube on how to do it too. And even if you ask GPT, it can walk you through how to do it. So in the future, I'm going to have proxy configuration, meaning that if you're running through like you're buying proxies, you know, for your users to like access your ad account, you would put those proxies in here. But for most of us, that's not going to matter. Now, I am going to put an access token here so you guys can see what it looks like. And then I'll probably blur it because it's, you know, I had to actually go get this access token. So I'm just going to drop it in here. And now when I have this all set with the correct access token, I want to show you what it looks like. Status active. Let's create this integration. We have now successfully hooked up 26 ad accounts, okay, that integration or that user is connected to. So now down here we have access to 26 ad accounts, okay? And the way that you can tell is if we go back into here and we scroll down, it's going to show me all of those ad accounts in a drop down right here. I'm only going to blur the names out probably, and I'm not going to scroll it, but you guys can see I can scroll this list and I can click fetch and save all ad accounts. Like let's say that I got access to more ad accounts beyond when I originally created this user access token, all that. I could come back in here, fetch, save, and then I could fetch and save, and then it would update it. But let's go back to the campaign now that we have an API integration. Back to the pencil. Remember, this gets your link. This is the stats. This edits. This resets conversions for this campaign. This clones this campaign. And this junks this campaign. It throws it in the trash can. So let's go back into here. Let's scroll. And then when I look for cost tracking, let's say that, let me open this real quick. Now I'm going to blur all of this except for the one I'm going to pick, just like the random one in this list. Let's say that it was connected to this ad account. So let's say that this campaign is being loaded into Meta in this ad account, okay? That's what you need to select because that's how Kuma is going to ping to Meta to get your ad account spend for this particular campaign. And it's doing that because we don't want to run a bunch of unnecessary API calls, okay? We want to make sure that the only API calls that we run are the ones that matter to this exact account. So when you have like 4 or 5 different campaigns, you want to make sure to select which ad accounts you're getting the cost from so that Kuma does it most efficiently for your API cost. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So now we have a cost tracking, we have an integration. Let's go ahead and save, and then let's visit the campaign link. So I'm going to grab this guy here. Let's go back here. Oh, what? Must have accidentally copied it. Hold on. Let's copy this back here. Okay, let's visit our campaign link. So it just redirected us to our landing page, but now we have a click ID associated. And if we hover over the button, we have a click ID associated as well. Oh, you know what? It's not going to track us. You know why? Kuma by default will throw stuff into a test click. In fact, I'll show you that on Kuma. Let's go to the visitor log. It's going to show that we have no visitors. If we exclude approval clicks and we hit apply, you're going to see that, yes, I am located in Oregon. Not this part of Oregon, but Kuma is going to show you that this click exists, but that it's been filtered as like an approval click or like not a real click. And the reason why is because it's detecting that these variables are unfilled. So the two that I need filled to show up is an ad ID and an ad set name, when it comes to Facebook at least. So let's just say ad 21, and then let's say for ad set ID, this was like ad set 5 or something. Okay, now my click is actually going to show up in here. And by the way, let's go ahead and there's more settings I want to go over with you guys, but let's go ahead and make sure that you guys can see this part. So all right, now Kuma should have tracked my click if we refresh this page. There I am. So I'm tracked in now, and in visitor log, I'm tracked in as a real click. So if we click this, it's going to redirect us to example domain. And the reason why you saw a short redirect in there was because it was nulling the refer. Remember how we selected that in the campaign? It's nulling the refer. Sorry, the reason I keep looking over here is I have a secondary screen. Okay, so back in our visitor log, if we refresh this, you're going to see a little bear icon that shows that we clicked. Yay! And you're going to see our click ID and all this stuff. So let's do this. Let's copy this click ID. If you click it, it copies my click ID. And let's go to our click lookup. Actually, I'm wondering if I want to dox myself right now or not. Let's see. Maybe not, but you can take that to click lookup and you can look up the stats on that click, and then it will show you everything associated with this click. User agent, if there's a conversion, all that stuff. Okay. So back in the campaigns, how much am I at? 28 minutes. Sorry guys, I'm trying my best. There's a lot to showcase. Let's go to stats. This is your stats overview page. Okay. And down here is your campaign's performance, your offer, your landing page, and your campaign's overall performance. We've had 2 clicks, right? But we've only gone to the offer 1 time. So here's what we're going to do. Also, there's no associated costs so far. Here's all of your ability to break down your campaign. You can do target performance, and then let's say you break it down by ad set ID. Let's do that. Okay, guys, sorry, my bad. I broke it. I fixed it. I encountered my own bug immediately in the test. So anyway, there it is. It's breaking down the ad set that we selected, and one had just a placeholder and one had our actual ad set. So there they are. So this is how you break down your stats. You can break down by multiple tokens and groups based on what you want to see. Kind of a normal stats breakdown view of this is the offer, this is your landing. And then also if you want to show, let me go back to just standard view here. Let's say we wanted to show which offers the landing page went to. You can select this little checkbox and it will show you which offers your landing page clicks went to, so you can break down which offer and landing page paths are working. This stats view is something I want feedback from you guys on as far as how you want to see it updated, if it's hard to read. It's kind of difficult, actually, believe it or not, to build a really efficient stats page because there's so many different ways that it can be looked at, and people like to look at it in their own way. So I just kind of built a generic basic one that kind of gives you a general overview of everything. All right, so I wanted to take you guys, this is the opportunity because we're almost done here, to take you guys through to, let's take this click ID. Let's head to the settings. And now that we have an integration, we have an API cost update, data retention. This is the next one I wanted to look at. This just shows you how the data is being retained for clicks. I haven't messed a lot with this IP anonymization. I actually had that built mostly through AI because I was looking around at some privacy settings and I was like, I need the potential to mask it, but I haven't messed with it all that much as I have with the other things that I've had a lot of hand encoding myself. Campaign groups. This is exactly what I was talking to you about before. We could set a group like debt, save it. We now have a campaign group. Back in our campaign settings, we could go and give this the debt group and then save it. And then in our campaign overview, you'd see we have a debt group, and in our dashboard, you would see we have a debt group. And when you drop that down, it will show you shows you the test clicks that have been filtered out of your campaigns. It will show you all of your debt campaigns or all of your whatever campaigns, and it will show you their combined stats, which is kind of cool, right? That way you can look at campaigns on a combined level instead of having to look at them individually. So let's get rid of that. Okay. Data management. Now this section's pretty cool. It's about firing manual conversions, deleting campaigns clicks, deleting clicks by IP, deleting clicks by sub ID or custom parameter, and then deleting all clicks in the database. Okay, so there's where you manage this. We're going to actually do something with this in a second. Users. This is where you can actually come in here and change some stuff about your user. I'm actually going to set my time zone as Pacific time since my thing says Oregon. So now my stats would show as Oregon, like when all my costs and everything update. Geolocation data. These are the included databases that are how it's identifying where your users are coming from. As far as I know, I'm in the clear by letting you use these. They're all publicly available, free, downloadable. All of them are. And I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to distribute them under these licenses. I tried my hardest to make sure. And also, I'm not charging any money for Kuma, so it's not like I'm charging anything for them. Updates. I left this active, but at the moment, the GitHub repository is not currently set up. So this will not actually auto-update. Just for this example, it won't. For now. And then about Kuma, that's just about me and all that stuff and me making it. So the last thing I want to show you before we're done here, and then you guys can kind of take it off on your own and head for it, is under data management, I wanted to fire a post back for my ID. So let's just give it like 20, actually let's just do like 2150 or something. And then add and fire post back. I could have done that through our postback URL as well. I could have taken this and put the click ID here, put the payout here, and then posted it back, and it would have done the same. So this is how you put it at your affiliate network, and then in Kuma, it knows to fire back on the campaign. So this is where your custom domains would be as well. You can fire back conversions on custom tracking domains as well, and it will change this part. I think, guys, we kind of walked through everything. I try my best to keep it short. I'm sorry that it ended up being 35 minutes or whatever, but it's a lot. You know, I'm showing you how to install it, use it. And then on top of that, I still have to show you how to do the Facebook pixel setup. I'll probably do that later today as well. And the user setup for getting your costs. So your costs, and then also setting up a pixel for postback. So that's pretty much it, guys. Months, dude. I mean, I built the first version of this manually in 2017, 18. And then I used a lot of vibe coding to help me sort of rebuild it from what I had it on originally, which was Laravel, and to do a better job. My original version would have been a lot less feature heavy, and it would have been much more bare bones if I would have gone with that. So if you guys have issues, let me know. That's what the Telegram group is for. This is a work in progress, obviously. My goal is to keep making it better and better. I don't expect you guys to use it if you don't want. I don't expect people who are advanced to use it. It's probably missing a lot of features you want. That's okay. I want it to be pretty basic anyway. And then we'll just add things as we go. I have lots of plans for adding plugins to it, so you can add additional tracking features. It is open source, so you can have your own team's vibe code on it as well. You can't redistribute it. Well, you know, you can't really redistribute. I mean, I own the basic of the software, so like I would suggest that you make a lot of those plugins just for you. And so... and then in the future, if you want to add them to a repository where we're going to have them all as part of Kuma's, it'll be under the settings in the future. We're going to call it the honeycomb, and it's going to let you bring in new features to Kuma. So it'll ship with the bare bones, but then you can add on features later. So I hope it was kind of informative, kept you guys like kind of in the loop of knowing. Sorry I had to pause a few times and fix little errors that I caused by being an idiot. But like I said, any questions? Hit me up in the Telegram, okay? And I hope that it helps you guys out quite a bit. So, see ya.